In the early 2000s, Call of Duty was a big part of the gaming culture, from memorable moments to crazy plays and funny kills.
Okay. Oh! Oh my god! Oh! Oh my fucking god! Oh! Oh! Get this fucking... Oh! No! Get the camera! Money! Money! Oh my god!
Call of Duty was there for all of it. In the early 2000s, Call of Duty was a big part of the gaming culture. Each year, we could look forward for the next Call of Duty game, knowing that it will be as detailed and as in depth as the last one. From its modern features to its advanced abilities, Call of Duty was always on top and well received by some. But slowly and surely, the gaming industry and even Call of Duty will make a sudden shift. With the rise of loot boxes, players and fans were concerned about how loot boxes were being pushed in the gaming industry. With Advanced Warfare being at the front, people were concerned about the future of loot boxes and how far they were going to be pushed on customers. So gaming companies and studios had to think of other ways to achieve the same effect as what loot boxes did. Now, if you ask someone, when do you think Call of Duty started to fell off? You might get different answers. Some might say Infinite Warfare, others might say Black Ops 4, but I'm mostly going to focus on 2019 Modern Warfare. That's when I think Call of Duty started to take a dip. Now, in that time, there was a rise in battle royales. Obviously, with Black Ops 4 battle royale, they wanted to change something different, start something new. And that's when we got Warzone. This is where we start to see the cracks and a change in Call of Duty. There was a lot of issues with Call of Duty, and some fans saying about how there was nothing to do in the game. There was no challenges. There was nothing to grind for. Also, another big argument fans were talking about at the time was skill-based matchmaking and how terrible it was. And with all this happening and Activision trying to figure out ways to monetize Call of Duty, it gets very bad really quickly. And they hated the direction Call of Duty was going. And over the years, Call of Duty has slowly become a very great game people can look forward to every year, to a game that feels like it doesn't know the direction it wants to go while also trying to monetize it as best as possible. And I think Call of Duty has slowly began losing its value over the years. And you could see that when any new first-person shooter games come out, it's automatically labeled as the next COD killer. It truly does suck because two of the biggest first-person shooters were both in a bad state right now. That being Call of Duty and Battlefield, two games that it was in its prime in the early 2000s. So surely the latest Call of Duty fixed everything, right? You're wrong. And I'm going to go on a slight tangent on how I feel about the latest Call of Duty, so just bear with me. I feel like if you have to reuse assets from an old game, at least make it look different. One of my biggest complaints about Modern Warfare 3 is that it looks the same like Modern Warfare 2. And it even looks similar to 2019 Modern Warfare. It all looks the same. At least try and trick me to make it look different. And I get Warzone is a big part of Call of Duty, but I'm getting tired of seeing Warzone in every single game mode. Tired of seeing in parts of multiplayer maps. I'm tired of it being used in a campaign. I'm just tired of seeing Warzone. Another good example is look at the DMZ mode. It was supposed to be like a Tarkov type game mode, and even that was bare bones and it was barely like Tarkov. It had Tarkov elements, but it really wasn't what I thought it would be. And I'm gonna be honest, the only reason why I played DMZ was either to complete challenges or to get the new weapons that were available in DMZ. And there's really no other reason to play DMZ other than those two reasons. Now we look at zombies, and to be honest, I haven't played zombies, but I think that this is the worst zombies I've seen Call of Duty has made. And then we go look at the zombies, and there's a little bit of a story, but not as big as past zombie stories Call of Duty has made so far. The map, I think, is literally a war zone map. And I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. I feel like every game mode, I want to feel like I'm playing something new. I want to feel like I'm playing a different experience. I don't want to play a zombies map and be like, wow, this zombies map's in Warzone. I don't want to play a multiplayer map and be like, wow, this is just pieces of a Warzone map. I don't want to play a campaign and the majority of the campaign is a Warzone map. And I think we're starting to see a trend, and this is not only happening with Call of Duty, it's happening with other games as well. But, you know, I feel like Call of Duty doesn't know what it wants to be, while also trying to make the fans remember like the good old days of COD. Now, if you ask me why I think the future of Call of Duty is, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea. Especially with Microsoft acquiring Activision, I have no idea on the direction of where Call of Duty is going to be headed. Now, there's one Call of Duty game that we all haven't played, or at least it's hard to get your hands on, and that is Call of Duty Online. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a Chinese version of Call of Duty. Don't quote me on this, but I know there were some issues with some Call of Duty games not being available in China, because I want to think one of the main reasons was because of zombies. And I think over there in China, zombies really weren't a big thing there, so they had to change the zombies to like robots. But nonetheless, it's Call of Duty Online. It had like all the maps from Black Ops 1, 2, 3, Modern Warfare, 1, 2, 3. It had all the maps combined in one Call of Duty. It looked very nice. It looked and played very nice. And that is just what I want in a future Call of Duty game. Obviously, will that happen? Maybe, possibly. But we're looking at a trend where I feel like, again, Call of Duty creatively doesn't know what it wants to do. And I just think a COD Online would be best while they try and get those creative juices flowing again. Another thing, and this is like a placeholder thing that they could just do, is I wouldn't mind if they just remade a Call of Duty game and just slap a $30 price tag on it. I wouldn't mind. Some people may hate that, but I mean, listen, if they just got Black Ops 2, clean it up a bit, update the graphics, slapped a $70 price tag, I wouldn't complain. If they did that for the, original Modern Warfare 3, all the other original games, clean it up, make it look nice, I wouldn't complain if they slapped a $60, $70 price tag on it. But that's just like a placeholder until they actually start to create something than just, let's just get a game out there as quickly as possible with, unfinished features. But that's just a placeholder until they actually start creating something of value, instead of, hey, let's just copy some assets from the other game, put in this, and call it a day. I would like to see creatively a well fleshed out Call of Duty game. Let's just hope Call of Duty will soon go back to its roots and be great as it once was in the early 2000s, because I think Modern Warfare 3, the current Call of Duty game, is literally rated the lowest rated Call of Duty game in COD history. So something's got to change. Something has to be different, and hopefully it comes sooner rather than later. But let me know about your thoughts on Call of Duty. Do you like the direction Call of Duty is going? Do you wish to see a change in Call of Duty? Let me know in the comments. But for now, that's all I got.